Dear ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I hope that you are all doing well. I'm Dominik Plattner, the ITTF High Performance Manager, and I am very happy and proud to warmly welcome all of you to our 7th ITTF High Performance and Development Table Tennis at Your Fingertips webinar with the topic Timo Boll. I want to talk shortly about our webinar code, about our rules. To all the attendees, please mute yourself and turn off the video. Just the panelists' micro and webcam will be on. Please don't touch anything regarding the recording or our presentation slides. Please leave your questions in the chat. We will try to answer as many as possible in the question and answer part of the webinar. Thank you very much. Over to the introduction of our today's panelist. It's a great pleasure and honor for us to warmly welcome our today's special guest and one of the best table tennis players ever, Timo Boll from Germany. He is the multiple European champion. He is the multiple Europe top 12 and top 16 winner. He is the winner of the 2019 European Games singles and team event. He is the World Cup winner in 2002 and 2005. He is the silver medalist of the team event Olympic Games 2008. He is the bronze medalist in the team event Olympic Games 2012 and 2016. Silver medalist in the team event at the World Table Tennis Championships 2018. And bronze medalist at the single event at the World Table Tennis Championships 2011. Last but not least, also silver medalist in the doubles event at the World Table Tennis Championships 2005. Hello and welcome, Timo, and thank you very much for taking the time.
Hi to everyone. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Nice to hear. Thank you very much. Last but not least, I warmly welcome our experienced ITTF high performance elite coach, Massimo Constantini. Pass over to you, Max.
Hello, good afternoon, good day to everyone. Timo, thank you very much for coming to this webinar. It's a great pleasure for all table tennis passionates, and yes, talking about the topic, we were thinking what topic we can discuss with the Timo Boll. Then I said I came up with the idea, but the topic is the Timo Boll. There is no other. And then when I started making the question, and then there was I couldn't stop. I mean, I have so many questions for you, and I'm sure many other will come from the attendees having online. So, Timo, I would like to start with a very simple, how are you, and how you are coping in this difficult time? You were saying that you got back to play a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's never easy to rest. I mean, the first 6 weeks of the lockdown, they weren't easy, but I had a small injury at my back, so anyway, I had to rest a little bit. So I don't want to say it was good for me, the lockdown, but I had the time to recover, and I used the time to have quality time with my family, which is not usual. I mean, we are traveling a lot normally during the year, and to be home for more than 2 months, I think I never had this before, so I really enjoyed it also a little bit. But since 2 or 3 weeks, I'm in practice again. Started slowly, and yeah, now I'm preparing already for our championship in the Bundesliga. I think we want to finish it, and maybe in 2 or 3 weeks we will have the playoffs.
Great. Yeah, well, it's very unusual for all of us to stay at home, you know. So it's great, but at the same time weird, let's say. So I want to invite again the attendees to turn off the camera and the mic as well, please. And so we're starting from your early age. Who was your role model when you were growing up?
When I started table tennis, I honestly had no idol in that way. I was just happy to play table tennis. I mean, I was just, yeah, happy to be home playing with my father or with friends. And yeah, it was a lot of pleasure for me doing sports. And I was not looking to someone when I was 5, 6 years old. I mean, that changed when I became maybe 10. So I realized there's a Jörg Roskopf and a Jan Overwaldner. And so these two, they were somehow my idols in that age. But in that period, I started already to practice a lot and to take it more serious also.
So talking about your early career, I saw you for the very first time playing in Italy, the youth championships in Norcia, if I remember.
Yeah.
Norcia. There's a good food
Beautiful
over there,
city.
by the way. Yeah. And so since then, how long? Maybe 24 years already, almost a quarter of a century. Since then, how many times Timo Boll has changed the way he's playing?
I mean, the sport improved and there was an evolution, I would say. And also I evolved myself. I mean, I had to adapt myself to the players, to the game, also to my health, to my body. I needed to change my style a little bit. I needed to adapt to new rules. So it was always a progress and it never stopped and it's still not stopping.
The flow, yeah. Once you start to actually, you don't know where you go. You try to be consistent in winning, especially winning. So
especially now, especially now in that time, I had a lot of time to watch videos from former times, and it's really interesting how the game changed, how I changed my style, and I think I'm the better player now than 20 years ago or 15 years ago.
You're still improving, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, physically, I'm not the same player anymore, but from strategy and experience and how I play the game, it's much more efficient.
So regarding the career, what was the best moment and what was the greatest setback in your career so far? So the best and the greatest setback.
Luckily, I had not that many setbacks. I mean, I learned to lose during my career, especially when you are young. It's hard to accept losing games and you are arguing during the game afterwards. And this puts even more pressure on you when you take it too harsh and too serious to yourself. I mean, it's just a sport, and of course we do it professionally, but I tell myself always I need to have fun and I need to push myself to the limits, and then it's okay, and then it doesn't matter so much if you win or lose. Then you can be happy with yourself. And this took a while, but from the feeling, which was the biggest setback, was maybe Olympics 2004 when I lost to Jan Overwaldner in the quarterfinal. This was a heavy loss, I would say, because in my mind I had the feeling I could have beat him, and I think 3 or 4 weeks before we met and I beat him, and 2-3 weeks later I beat him, but just the important game I lost. So this was some kind of tragedy for me, especially because the draw was also quite good. But anyway, it's going on, and it was setbacks were always a good motivation for me to keep going and work even harder, and it showed me some difficulties and weaknesses in my game.
And as usual, to learn something. So very, 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 very important to enjoy and to learn in difficult time, and also sometimes also learning when you win, you know, just not to feel that I'm winning, okay, everything is going well, but also in that time you have to try to understand and learn something. Based on your overall skills, what is the area you count on the most? More tactic, more technical, mental?
Yeah, it changed a little bit. I think when I was younger, I was physically very good. I mean, physically, I was for sure one of the best players on the tour. I invested a lot of time for physical training, athletics, and I had the feeling during the games when I was younger, when I just move better, I will win the games. So it was all about physical aspects more. But now I have the feeling I cannot move so well anymore, and I'm not that flexible anymore. So I need to have better strategy and technique, and everything has to be more detailed and on point. Yeah. So.
True. So one of your limitless skills is the first opening topspin with a lot of rotation. You know, just the ball coming slide out. You are a master in making this unbelievable great spin. And how did you develop this kind of abilities? Was something that you studied a little bit, or coming from experience? Okay, this one working. Yes, let's go more and more. How did you develop that?
Yeah, it started very early. I was using my wrist quite well. My coach gave me always the advice to use the wrist and the forearm a little bit more, and also the footwork was very important for that, to go very low and let the ball fall down a little bit, strive it very thin, I would say. And he was always arguing when I played too hard and too risky. So I had the feeling this is also a good method to win points with rotation and spin. And so I got somehow a feeling, and accordingly that also the right technique for that.
Yes, of course. It's a stroke. It's a tactical stroke that is not easy to block, and it's not easy also to counterattack. So makes the opponent a very, very hard situation to decide what to do. So creates that advantage immediately. That advantage, which is crucial in when you play. So yeah, they all say that your name stands for calmness. Your focus at the table is legendary, and were you always able to tune out distractions easily, or is that something you have worked on continuously? So how to maintain that status of super focused, super cool, super from outside, super confident. So it's something that you work also on this?
Yeah, it was a long process, I would say. Especially when I was younger, I was also too much arguing about myself, about the game, about anything, coaches, whatever. So I made the same mistakes like everyone, but I learned from that, and I was mirroring myself, and I watched some videos and saw myself, yeah, behaving not good. So it feels not good if you see yourself behaving like that from outside, and I learned from that, and somehow, yeah, I optimized my behavior, and now I'm a little bit like a poker face, yeah.
Yeah. And the gentleman, I have to say, you are always a gentleman at the table. So
yeah, it feels better to be the gentleman than the bad boy.
No, it's true, because it's very strong message to the young generation, you know. So when I'm in the hall and seeing kids getting super nervous, it's something that maybe, yeah, they have to learn from you a lot.
I mean, it was helping. It was also helping because I, yeah, was playing fair. So my opponents played also fair to me after a while. Yeah, and before maybe they took or cheating a little bit, but when they felt you are fair to them, you get it also back. Maybe not immediately, but once in a while you get it back.
It's contagious behavior.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So I have a question that also coming from one of the prior webinar regarding your training routine, and yeah, well, how would you manage your workload on a typical training day?
Oh, I mean, now I'm not a good idol anymore. Now I try to stay healthy and try to be efficient. But for a young player, I wouldn't recommend the same workload what I do now. I think younger players need more practice than older players. But the most important thing for me is to be focused during practice. It's not the amount. So if you can be concentrated for 2 hours, it's perfect. But if you just can be focused for 1 hour, then 1 hour should be enough, and use the rest of the time for athletics or other things. Because when you practice, yeah, unconcentrated, you get used to do, yeah, bad movements, and that's the worst thing what can happen. So then the rest of your practice was useless.
In the whole, you are more a consistent training or more a game-like situation as per now?
Now I do much more game-like situations with service receive. Yeah. So I'm starting early with service and receive exercises, because I don't do so many exercises. So first exercise is normally a little bit control, or 1 or 2 backhand, 1 or 2 forehand, something like that. And the second exercise is normally already a service to receive exercise, and third exercise is normally games or another service receive exercise. So normally I don't practice longer anymore, not more than 3 exercises.
Enough, yeah. Well, if, as you were saying before, if that work is with the good focusing, good quality during 1 hour, it's enough. I mean, it's.
I mean, this is full power and full concentration,
yeah.
and that's even more important for me right now, and should be also for younger players more important to analyze yourself more, to, yeah.
Now we need we need a recipe from you because you know, I have a question, double question, let's say. So, recipe: how to increase the self-confidence and how to avoid being overconfident.
I mean, before a game, I was never too optimistic. I was more realistic or a little bit more defensive from my feelings. But that changed during the game. I get somehow more realistic and more optimistic. So this is important that you don't struggle during the game and be too pessimistic. That you always try and you try to use chances and also try to find ways how you can defeat your opponent and never give up. So that's the most important thing. And just be reflective somehow.
Good. So those kids and players, they used to rush, let's say, to win the point. It looks that when you play, you everything to focus except winning the point. You know, which is of course is automatically to have the instinct to win the point. But it looks when you play that is a flow. It's coming. It's not a super urgent, let's say, matter. Like many kids and young players, they rush to try to end up. How you would you suggest, you know, not to get the pressure of feeling to win the point, maybe rushing third ball in or out, something like that? What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's more important to be safe, to play good positioning, and I'm never hoping to win with one shot the point. So I play it on the table with a good placement, and then I'm looking already for the next ball and be ready for the next ball. And if the opponent is doing already the mistake, it's okay. It's good. But I'm ready for the next ball, and so I'm always focused to continue playing. So, and I'm also not afraid of continue to play. You have to be self-confident on your own strokes that you can make it, and just concentrate on your technique and on the placement of your shots. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, very true. Very good. I mean, focusing on the next ball to play and not to stop in that in the feeling that, okay, I can win the point now. No, just thinking next and next and next again. So great advice. Thank you.
So I always play the maximum amount of speed, but I need to come back. So that's always in my mind. If I play too hard and I cannot come back for the next ball, then it's too hard. So I need to play a little bit softer or a better placement. So that's quite important to get a feeling for that. How hard can you play to reach the next ball?
Very true. So before we were talking about, you know, this for the last 25 years, a lot of things changed, equipment, score, balls, and so on. So you said that that you have adapted along this time. But what was the major influence on your game? Was more related to the score that you got a better, let's say, I won't say advantage, or a better adaptation, or more the balls? What was the most influence factor?
Okay, some changes had a quite big effect, I would say, especially, I would say the plastic ball was a quite big change. Also, that gluing is forbidden. This was a big change, I think, for the game.
Yeah.
And for the plastic ball, yeah, a lot of people said before that this can be a big problem for me because I was using the spinny balls to win points, and with the plastic ball you don't have that much spin anymore. So a lot of people thought, yeah, this is against my game. So it was against my game, but I adapted quite fast, yeah, because I changed a little bit my movement and the way how I place also the balls, and also, yeah, the overall tactics changed a little bit because of that for my game and how I use it now.
But talking about the spin, this is not the question. I was just following you, you know. So there are, yes, they say that the ball gets very less spin. But do you think that the spin still one of the major, or maybe the major element to succeed in this game, or spin is over and then everything is based on speed and power?
Oh, it's still useful. I mean, if you can play heavy topspins, then you are able to let the ball fall down, and you get more time to play. And it's always useful if you can play this low shots with an arc and with some kind of curveballs. And so, I mean, the first ball is maybe not that dangerous anymore, but you can continue and continue spinning, and this is always an advantage. And it's more about continuing and more rallies, and for me, staying closer to the table also. So that's my style of game now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel that the spin still playing a very important role, even that the ball spins less, but spins less for everyone. But so
yeah,
at the end, the spins is crucial. Talking about many changes in table tennis in the last 20 years, I believe there is something that hasn't changed at all. Your world ranking. That's not changed. From
it changed.
From 2002, Timo, to today, you have consistently been in the top 10. So between me and you, no one is listening. So what is the secret?
What is the secret? I mean,
That's amazing.
yeah, yeah. I always took care on my body. This was good. I was disciplined somehow. Played a lot of tournaments. I took everyone serious, so I had not so many fallouts, I would say, not so many bad tournaments. And I just had fun to play over the years. It never stopped. So this is the most important thing, to keep going. And if you still like the sport and work on yourself, then you can stay forever there. Not forever, but it's also a physical sport. So you need also some physical abilities, and you need to move. But as long as you can keep your fitness, I think I have a chance to stay there a little bit longer.
Yeah, great. That's amazing. I mean, it's really an example. Thank you very much for what you are giving in table tennis.
No.
Thank you. So now we go to the team, Germany team. So Captain Timo has been extremely essential for all the achievement of Team Germany. In these 2 decades, you have had many teammates, rotating around you. Can you tell us more how you blend your individual performance with the team's performance?
Yeah, it's always good if you have a top player in your team. I mean, I had Jörg Roskopf, and he showed me the way a little bit and how to work hard, and yeah, the same now for our younger players, like for Dmitry Ovcharov. We practiced a lot together, so maybe he improved a little bit from that. And it's always good to have a leader and someone where you can follow on, and you can look at him, take some good advice, and look what he's doing right. And so, yeah, you can learn a lot from the good players. And I learned also a lot from players like Jörg Roskopf or Wang Lichin when he was younger, and Kongling Hui. So I always looked up and analyzed them and tried to implement some things into my game. And I think the same our players are doing now as an idol or a person which they look up for. And yeah, I try to be an idol and try to help them somehow. And it's also fun for me to play against the younger guys, and yeah, playing training matches with them and doing some kind of trash talk. And yeah, it's always fun for them and also for me.
Absolutely, yeah. Talking about the coaches, okay, the coach is a. I'm a coach. I was with many different teams. He's a key person to guide the players. So how was how is your relationship with the coach, or with the coaches that you have had before?
I think as a young player, you don't honor it so much as you should to have a coach behind you. And I mean, the coaches always want your best, but you don't realize that sometimes as a young player you make the coaches guilty for your losses and some things like that. And yeah, it's wrong, but in that moment you feel like that and you don't realize it, and that they just want to help. So it's important for a coach to know that, that you stay calm and bring your pupil up again, and no matter what they say to you, or I mean, that's important to realize that also as a coach, that younger players don't honor you in the way they should.
Yeah.
Now I look back and I'm very thankful to my coaches, and now I know what they did and how important they were.
They were for you, yeah. Yeah, we sometimes as a players we don't thank enough.
Yeah.
The coaches, that they do everything for us, actually, you know. So
Yeah.
they try to advise, they try to guide us, they try to be our back, let's say. So
Yeah.
we have to thank them. So it's absolutely important. Tokyo 2020, Tokyo 2021, but they call 2020 anyway. So how, at this stage, how will you prepare for the queen of the competitions?
Yeah, I think not so much changed for me. I mean, I'm still motivated and I still have fun to continue. And I think my targets shouldn't change in 1 year. So I think I still can win medals. I mean, I will live disciplined for the next few years and try to be the best player I can. And the last 2-3 years, they were really successful for me. And I had the feeling I can compete with the best players, even against the best Chinese. And so that was a good sign for me to keep going and pushing myself still hard.
So it's just a postponement, and Timo Boll will be ready in 2021 as well.
Yeah, I mean, I hope not so much will change in that 1 year. Of course, I need to take patience and also take care on my body. And I mean, it's always hard to prepare for Olympics because you are too motivated often, and especially in my age, I have to be careful now.
Exactly. Yeah, talking about some Chinese players you played with. Now I'm listing some players, but you can add anybody else if you wish. So you played with Kong Lin Hui, which I think you never lost to him, or did you? Kong Lin
I
Hui.
lost to him. I lost to him, but I have a quite good score against him.
I think so, yeah. Wan Liqing, Zhang Jike, Fan Zhendong, or Ma Long, or many other, of course, are there. So who is the one who impressed you the most?
Maybe the most difficult player for me to play was Ma Lin. So he had a really strange game. He had a strange rhythm. He could play hard, he could play soft, he could play with side spins. He was a smart player too, not just powerful and athletic, also very, very smart. He had good ideas, and he was killing me quite often. I mean, I could beat him 3-4 times, but lost maybe 15 to 20 times. So he was really a nightmare for me.
So it's because when a player comes more unpredictable, it's difficult to read, let's say, the choices that make what kind of how they think. So you think is a good set to teach a player to be unpredictable, to vary as much as possible? Or is just a gift, it's just an innate quality?
Yeah, especially a player like Ma Lin, he had so many variations and placements and the rhythm. It was really hard to adapt and to find a strategy against him. I mean, from the first ball on, I had the feeling, I don't know what's going on in the game. And then it means he has a lot of variations, and that's always an advantage if you can use them and you can play them safe.
And the most comfortable? Ma Lin was the toughest.
Ma Lin was maybe the toughest. I mean, I have also a very bad score against Fan Zhendong, but he's playing somehow straight and a beautiful table tennis. Like, he's playing the same like me, but just better, I would say. But it feels not that bad against him. I mean, you have rallies against him. You can receive his serve. It's always an intense game, but in the end I lost it. But somehow you had the feeling, it was a good game. But against Ma Lin, I never had it. Even when I lost, even when I beat him, I had the feeling, it was a terrible game. I had a good score also against Wang Liqin. I mean, for his level, what he had, I think he had periods where he didn't lose games for 1.5 years, and So maybe in that period, I was the last one who could beat him and the first one again. So that was quite a good feeling. But he was also a very special player because he was so athletic, and he was a good idol for me to do a lot of physical training and work hard on this part. And he had maybe the most powerful forehand ever.
Yeah.
And he was also a tall guy and so flexible, and very impressive player. But I had a good score against him because he didn't like my serve and also my receive, my rotation, and it was not fitting in his game somehow.
Good. I have a few more questions. Then we can start getting questions from the attendees. Okay, table tennis is a major sport in Asia, in Germany as well, and we all remember you being the flag bearer in Rio 2016. There must have been a super exciting feeling. Very quickly, can you tell us a little more on this? That was a great feeling, I believe.
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, incredible feeling, a very special moment, which I will never forget for sure. I mean, I was talking to Dirk Nowitzki before. He was the flag bearer the Olympics before, and he told me I should really inhale that moment and really enjoy it because it's so short. And so I took it twice, and it was really beautiful, and love to look back and remember that moment.
And what do you think table tennis needs to make the ultimate leap towards being a major sport anywhere? I mean, table tennis is so popular, right? But to go even, the big one, what do we need?
They should forbid football. No.
We need a bigger ball.
No, I mean we can be happy we have an attractive sport and a lot of people like table tennis, and especially we professional players, we can live from it. So a lot of other sportsmen, they cannot live from their sport. They just do it as their hobby and need another job beside. So I think we should be happy, and of course we can work on it to make it even more popular than it is. But it's a long way, and the ITTF is working hard on that, and I think we have some new major people there now hired who can bring us even further up. And we have also this world table tennis now system, and I hope it will work out and give us some more push, especially in the media and especially outside of China and Asia.
So you mean that that was the next question regarding the WTT? Yes, can bring a significant, push and boost change in our sport. So you are welcoming this new, let's say, new things developed by ITTF, which we need a really good start. So. I have two more questions. So how do you see table tennis developing in the next 5-10 years?
You mean from the style of game, or?
Overall, on the style of game, maybe on the popular being more important, being a super sport. In different ways.
Yeah, I think it will be for the players. It's becoming even more professional. More players have their private teams. They work, yeah, in a very young age, already professional, and yeah, more countries do it that way. I mean, when I started becoming a professional player, there were not that many countries who take it really so serious like now. That's why the overall level comes closer together. So yeah, number 300 in the world can beat the number 25 in the world easily. Yeah. So it's not such a big surprise. So this this never happened 15, 20 years ago.
So, yeah, there is
So that's an evolution, I would say, from the style of game that more and more countries and players take it very serious and professional from the young age.
Exactly.
And popularity, yeah, I mean, it's also important that also especially the Asian players open a little bit more for the media. I mean, it's very important now that the Chinese players speak English, can communicate to the world press, and of course they are huge stars in China, but around the world nobody knows them. So that's the next step, yeah, to bring them also to the international media scene, yeah, more open and but they try, I think, and they are all different. They are nice characters, different characters, and so that's also important to bring them up also as international stars.
Yeah, that's very true. Very, very true. And how do you see yourself in 5-10 years?
I don't know.
Speaking Chinese?
Still rocking the world table tennis tour. No, that would be a big surprise. No, I don't know. I hope I can play long, but if it's possible that long, a big question sign behind it. No, I'm not sure what I will do afterwards. I mean, I have already now some kind of online coaching courses, which I like to do because I like technical stuff. And still to give my knowledge to other people, I think it's important, and it's also worth to do.
So it means also that you like to coach a little bit in the future?
I'm not sure if I'm the guy who stays 8 to 10 hours in a venue, and I did it for all of my life. I think I need to stop this, especially for the family life. No, I don't know. I need to do something which I have still the same amount of fun, like playing. That's important, where you can put all your energy inside, and yeah, then you feel happy. I mean, that's important to give a lot of energy in something, and then you feel somehow okay with it.
True, true. I have one more last question. Then I give back to Dominic. One advice for the players and coaches. Just some inspiring words for players and coaches from Timo Boll.
Yeah, I think a professional sports career is very short, so you really should enjoy it also in the tough moments. That they are still special moments, and you should enjoy them even when you feel, yeah, it's hard right now, but in the end, when you look back, it should be worth, yeah, to use the time as a player. And for the coaches, yeah, just try your best with your players. I mean, show them your energy, show them your spirit, and at least after their career, they will say thank you and thanks what you did to me. I mean, maybe not during the career, but yeah, just put all your energy inside and try to help somehow.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Timo. And I think Dominic, we have received several questions actually. So back to you, Dominic. Let's go.
Thank you very much, Max. And also thank you very much, Timo. It's very great so far to have you on board. And we do have a few more questions for you, Timo. And I would like to start with the first one. Jason Trofeo from the Philippine Table Tennis Federation would like to know what makes a good athlete, in your opinion?
I mean, it's important in table tennis to start early, to work, to practice regularly. I think when I was young, I never had a long period of a break. I mean, even when I had a table tennis break, I did some athletics and physical training. So I think until 28, I never had a day off, totally off sports. So that was important for me to keep my level high. Of course, you have to be disciplined. That's obvious. I mean, you cannot partying all the time and expect you become the best player on earth. So that's normal, I would say.
Okay, thank you very much.
I think it's also, for me, another thing which was very important was I had very good training partners. I always had the chance to practice with better players than me, especially when I was young. And this, if you have a talented player, try to give them always the chance to work with the best other players. Yeah, this will help him.
Okay, thank you very much. So you mean it's a combination of dedication to our sport, of course, of the discipline, and you emphasize that sparring partners and so on play a very important role, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Pass over to you, Max.
Yeah, I have Matthews Penkala from Slovakia asking, do you have any tips on how to improve the reverse pendulum serve? Yeah, training a lot, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Oh, here's my racket. Yeah, I mean, first of all, the right grip is important. I have this finger wide up to have a little bit more space to use the wrist.
All right.
On the forehand side, it's like that. The backhand side like this.
So
and
more flexibility to generate spin with the wrist.
Of course. And also try to go in the ball. Yeah, don't throw the ball too much to yourself. Try to use your body and go in the ball, like move towards the ball. That's also important. Don't try to give in the beginning too much spin, too much rotation. Try in the beginning more like try different placements, and that's even more important than the amount of spin for this serve. Overall, it's more important to play different placements, short, long, very diagonal, straight, and that helps much more to improve your serve than the amount of spin.
So just following your action, I was just watching. Of course, from the serve to the regular grip, it takes a little bit, you know. So it is something that that you by training you get faster and better, more automatization. Or it's something that you learn and study exactly how to do when this finger is too much there, and then get back to the grip, maybe little open or maybe little close to the back. And it's something that you have studied on this, or comes by direct experience?
Yeah, some things you need to get a feeling for that. I mean, some things you learn by experience, get to know yourself, analyze yourself, which is best for you. But on the other hand, you can watch videos and look to other players, good players, how they do it and copy them. So both ways can work.
All right. Good. Dominic, anything else?
Yes.
Yeah.
The next question is from Luisana Perez. Timo, how do you adapt quickly when you have to travel frequently in countries with different hours and maintain excellent performance in most tournaments?
Yeah, we are the masters of time difference, I would say, professional sportsmen, especially table tennis players, because we change the continents very often. There are rules for me when I travel, how to sleep, how to behave on the first day when I arrive, and I follow them very strictly. And then I can adapt very, very fast, so that I'm able to, play already the first or second day when I arrive on a high level and be fit.
Okay. So it's about your travel routines and experiences, from the best.
I know when I have a flight from Frankfurt to Beijing at this time, I know exactly how long I have to sleep during the flight, when to sleep during the flight, and so that's also experience, but I'm very strict in that, and it works.
Okay.
So I have not that big problem with the time difference when I change continents or time zones.
Thank you for these interesting insights. Pass over to you, Max.
Yeah, got the question from Sahil Sharma, I guess from India, maybe. Talking about playing against the younger players. So how you make yourself mentally strong while playing, as we are saying, you know, like a player like Harimoto. It's super young, super good. How you set up mentally to be strong against these young players?
Especially against Tomokazu, it's very special to play because he's so emotional and so loud, and you really need to calm down against him. But overall, I don't make any big difference how I start in the game and how I behave during the game. Doesn't matter how old my opponent is or how good. It's always the same routine. And also mentally, it's the same routine somehow. So I don't make any differences to anybody.
So if he shouts a lot, you respond with a very loud silence.
I don't care so much. I mean, I always take care on myself, on my inner emotions and how to treat them and how to bring them on always on the same base. And that's more important for me than what my opponent is doing. I mean, he can scream how he wants. I try to stay in my perfect position and mental position.
Excellent, excellent. So I think it's already 1 hour gone. And Dominic, again, you have something or?
Yeah, this is true. 1 hour is gone, but we have 2 more questions for Timo. Timo, I mean, you are one of the masters regarding calmness and focus we heard before. Tanay Nashana would like to know from you, how do you prepare to get into a focused zone before a match?
Yeah, if I have the feeling I'm too excited or I have too much stress inside, I'm using breathing techniques. I mean, just focusing on breathing, bring me down, bring me back to this basic mental position, and also just yeah. I mean, I just can fight and I just can do my best. That's my main position before the game. And it's not so much about winning and losing. And that takes a lot of stress out of me. If I just try to give my best and just force me to my best. And yeah, that's it. It sounds easy, but it's like that. And you just have to use it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. You mentioned breathing techniques. For sure, it took you a while to get the effort of them, right?
Yeah, you need to practice a little bit. I mean, I had yoga lessons for 2-3 years, and we did a lot of meditation, and I did the same during practice or during games, just taking care of breathing between the rallies. And this was some kind of practice for me to use it now in the special moments when I need it. I mean, I had a time when I just concentrated on breathing during the rallies after every point and to get always to the same position. Now I don't need that anymore so much, because if I need it, I just use it and bring me down again. And the rest of the time between the rallies I use for thinking about tactics, thinking about my game, about my playing angles or whatever.
Okay, thank you very much, Timo. The last question, I guess you have one more, Max, right?
Yeah, well, there are. I'm scrolling here all the questions and try to summarize in one, because they all asking many about the weekly training or the daily training for young kids, 13 years old, something like that, especially from this one, Omar Zaineddin, but this one is one of the son. So what is the ideal length of the practice? Talking about the young, very young players and maybe mature players. Do you think it's almost the same 2 sessions, 2-3 hours each session, or should be more more individual, more customized? What do you think?
Yeah, it depends always a little bit on the player. I mean, there are players who can work hard forever and stay concentrated. But there are also some players, I would say like me, when I was young, I could practice for 1.5 hours, and then my head was empty, and then it was the best time to finish, yeah, and do some athletic training or send me out and do something else. So, and recover a little bit and practice another time when I'm fresh again. So for this, yeah, the coach need to have some feeling and get to know your player, how much he can take.
Good.
I mean, it's useless if I say 3 times 2 hours or 2 times 3 hours, and if after 1 hour the player is tired and practicing nonsense the rest of the time.
There is no use. Yes, of course. Okay. Very good. Very good. So we are going to finish this great meeting. Dominic, back to you, and please.
Thank you very much, Max. Now all of us know for sure more about Timo, and for sure all of us could take a lot with us. Timo mentioned that he had argued maybe a bit too much when he had been young, and that setbacks had been important for him to learn from them, although of course nobody likes them. Furthermore, Timo emphasized that the workload is not the most important thing. Also for the young players, it is about the quality, to don't learn the wrong technique. Last but not least, he has taken each of his opponents serious and has enjoyed the game so far. Timo, we want to thank you very much for giving us so many interesting insights, advices, and for sharing your thoughts and experiences. Stay as you are a real gentleman on and off the table. And yeah, that's all from my side now. And I would like to also thank all of the attendees for the interest and attendance. And I'm looking forward to our next webinar on next week's Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central European Summertime with the topic Misbehaviour from the point of view of umpires, referees, and players. So thank you very much again, Timo, and pass over to you, Max, for the closing words.
Yeah, my personal applause for you, Timo, and it was a great interaction with you, and I hope the audience appreciated so many tips and things you have shared with us. I really thank you very much. I hope and wish you all the best. First of all, your health back to the action, and good luck for everything. And thank you very much for what you have done for table tennis. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you for the summary, and yeah, it was a pleasure to talk to you, and hopefully we see us back on the world tour sooner or later.
We hope so too, Timo.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Ciao.